Vairishi Ka Khalsa, Vairishi Ki Fateh. I'm Gurpreet and welcome to the Sikhlens YouTube channel. Today our guest is Harinder Singh, an active member of the Sikh diaspora in the UK. Harinder has published stories from the Sikh world for children. He has also conceptualized and compiled the recently launched book published by Sikhlens called From Sikh Wisdom, A Journey of Discovery. Harinder is a regular participant in interfaith dialogue forums in the UK and has also recently been involved in producing Sikh-centric 3D animation films. Welcome, Harinder ji, to Sikhlens.
Thank you very much.
So Harinder ji, you will be telling us about your talk, A Journey Through Japji Sahib, starting with the root mantra, Ik Onkar. Do we say Mool Mantar or Mool Mantra? And can you elaborate on the meaning of the Mool Mantra and how to apply this in our life?
Yes, of course. Gurpreet ji, before I talk about Mool Mantar, let me explain that the Mool Mantar is in Guru Nanak Sahib's Japji Sahib and is the opening prayer. It also incorporated at the very beginning of the Sikh scriptures, the Guru Granth Sahib. Jap means to meditate, to contemplate. Ji means life or living. Japji Sahib is the Sikh's morning prayer, an awakening to life's calling, our quest to live by a genuine, authentic, divine nature. It empowers us to cut through what is fake and superficial. The message in this prayer from Guru Nanak to humanity is that if you really want to live a fulfilled life, then meditate, contemplate, and live as per the divine laws, the law of one force, Je Jeena Hai Ta Jap. It encourages us to overcome our corrupt egos, to cultivate and activate our virtues. Life is a workshop to empower, encourage, uplift others, and thereby enlighten our own souls and leave behind a worthwhile legacy. Mool Mantar is the root chant which holds the essence of all Sikh teaching. Mool means root, origin, or essence. Mantar comes from the Sanskrit term mantra. It means a meditative chant which has the power to bring about a metamorphosis in the mind, or our man, as we say in Punjabi. This is the part of the mind which steers how we think and live in response to our conditioning and to changing inward and outward influences. By channeling the mind's awareness, the repetition of a mantra is seen to generate subtle processes of transformation in one's whole being as one starts to identify with the vision, principles, or essence of divinity which the mantra evokes. Guru Amar Das ji says, Man tu jot saroop hai, apna mool pehchan. Oh my mind, you embody the divine flame. Recognize the root of your own being. Guru Arjan Dev ji says, Jab dekha, tab sab kich mool, Nanak so sukham, soi astul. Wherever I gaze, the infinite creator is the root of all things. Both subtle and manifest is the presence of the divine.
So when did Guru Nanak compose the Mool Mantar?
Sikhs learn that Guru Nanak was in his 30s when Mool Mantar was revealed to Guru Nanak after profound and mystical enlightenment experience as he sipped the nectar of Amrit Naam and tasted the sublime truth of one eternal reality. Although Guru Nanak achieved enlightenment at a young age, in this artwork that you see, the Singh Twins have shown him with white hair because wisdom is usually associated with white hair. Okay. The Mool Mantar is treasured then as an awe-inspiring invocation of the timeless root of all existence. It is also seen as a mirror to the undying root of our own being, to the spark of God, which can be kindled from a flicker to a steady flame.
In that case, is the Mool Mantra just a chant?
It is more than a chant of praise to an otherworldly creator. The Mool Mantra beckons us to become working reflections of the divine. It stirs the directionless self to become swan-like, In scriptural analogies, this means growing in wisdom, discernment, virtue, and grace as one journeys through this present life before moving on. Often we are introduced to someone, we wonder who they are, what their name is, what they do, and what their personality is like. We might ask about their age, where were they born, and how we could better get to know them. If we look again at the phrases of the Mool Mantar, each provides an elementary answer to such questions as an introduction to the infinite being we may call God. Whilst translation of the Mool Mantar keep evolving, its original words are irreplaceable. Without using an equivalent term for God, they evoke in condensed form the essential attributes of the divine. To chant these original words allows their significance to deepen and unfold as our own perspectives and experiences evolve across life's changing seasons. Japji starts with the Mool Mantar, the basic or root belief, and is composed of 38 pauris or steps to spiritual enlightenment. It encapsulates the essence of the entire Sikh scriptures. A famous English philosopher once mentioned that the Sikhs have been given 38 keys or steps to unlock the treasure trove of divine wisdom. But unfortunately, we Sikhs have got into rituals which were condemned by the Gurus. We say that we are going to the Gurdwara, the Sikh temple, regularly, or we go and do our prayers every day, which is good. But this is only the initial stage, the first step. The question is, as one Pracharak Veer Manpreet Singh said, are we going to the Gurdwara? Yes, we are going to the Gurdwara. But are we growing as spiritual beings? That is more important. Every day we chant and count these 38 keys, make sure we have them, and then we put them away to start our daily routine. Hardly any of us bothers to use these keys to unlock this treasure trove. I do hope that with the bite-sized snippets of wisdom in this book, Jewels of Sikh Wisdom, A Journey of Discovery, I and my fellow Sikhs and non-Sikhs alike need to make an effort to use these keys to unlock the treasure bequeathed to us by Guru Nanak and our other Gurus. Guru is a Persian word meaning one who leads from darkness to light. The opening prayer starts with Ik Onkar. Here we have the Singh Twins artwork of Ik Onkar, very beautifully depicted.
What do we think of and feel when we see the numeral 1 at the very beginning of the root mantra, Ik Onkar? How do we apply this in our life?
The numeral 1 reflects the aspect of God which is Nirankar, without form. When we recognize this underlying oneness, we view all things in creation as interconnected and interdependent. By starting with the visually striking symbol of Ik Onkar, the Mool Mantar introduces the one all-embracing origin of everything that exists. It urges us to see the divine pervading everywhere, to revere creation and see God in all, to respect differences and yet seek cohesion, both outwardly and with others, and also cohesion with our own spiritual self. In this way, it prompts us to ponder on the core of our identity. Every so often, we all wonder about our origins, be they our biological, cultural, or geographical origins, the origins of a group we feel part of, or even the origins of life on earth. By sensing a connection to things beyond ourselves, we feel a certain wholeness and start to form many layered identities. Ik Onkar invites us to notice a more essential mool or origin glimmering beneath these layers, for we are all connected to the divine, even if unconsciously. To nurture this connection brings a more fundamental sense of wholeness, which can permeate and transcend the many connections we make in this world. After Ik Onkar, Guru Nanak sets out the main attributes of God. Ik Onkar means one, all-embracing root of existence, reverberating, creating, renewing, sustaining in a most infinite resonance. Satnam is God's name. If we need to put a name to the divine, it would be Sat Nam, naming the true reality. Also, it tells us that since truth is God, hence we should all endeavor to be truthful beings. Karta Purakh is the first fundamental attribute of God, meaning continuous doer and creator. Nirbhav is God's second attribute, without fear, without hate. The third attribute is Akal Murat, undying and timeless. Fourth attribute is Ajuni Sabhang, image of eternity, unborn and beyond all cycles of birth and death, that God is uncaused and self-illuminated, realized through the enlightener's grace. Guru Nanak ends this chant with the fifth and final attribute to God when he says, Gur Prasad Jap, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Bhi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach. Here is the wisdom, says Guruji. Accept it as a Gur Prasad that has been given to us in the form of this chant, so we can contemplate that God existed even before time began, the constant truth when time began. Here and now, the constant truth, says Nanak, the same constant truth forever and ever.
So Harinderji, can you now elaborate on God's attributes of Nirbhav, Nirvair, and how we can apply these qualities in our life?
Sure. Nirbhav, Nirvair means emitting no fear or hate, enmity. More than an impersonal force, God is depicted in the Mool Mantar as a personality with two founding qualities, Nirbhav and Nirvair, without fear, without hate. Where there is oneness, there is no other to be fearful or vengeful towards. When we see others as unfamiliar or alien, the opposition or the enemy, it is easy to emit vibrations of hate or fear. Whilst the egocentric self carves lines of separation between us and them, the spiritual self allows us to see one another from a perspective of underlying connection, embracing the twin values of Nirbhav and Nirvair. We learn to work from a spirit of kinship and solidarity, even as we face conflict. Likewise, the Sikh principle of Sant Sipahi, saintly warrior, then guides us to face life's inward and outward battles with courage and love instead of fear and hate. Meditating on the qualities of Nirbhav and Nirvair, we learn to notice and diffuse inner vibrations of fear and hate as they inevitably arise. When fear and hate lose their force within us, the qualities of love, compassion, and courage can take root and radiate.
Okay, that's a very nice explanation. What is your understanding of Akal Murad, Ajuni Sabhang?
Basically, it is to help us in discovering the face of eternity within ourselves.
So, but we all eventually die. So then, how do we discover eternity within ourselves?
Right. Firstly, we are all energy, and physics explains that energy never dies. It just takes another form.
Okay.
I'm also conscious that different traditions represented God through different words, images, and icons. Guru Nanak puts forward a paradox. To find a murat or form of God, one would have to imagine the face of a timeless and undying reality, Akal Murat. This statement also gives us a mirror to recognize a deathless part of our own self, which dwells within our mortal body. By reminding us of what is temporary, it inspires us to embrace life in a detached, yet poignant and appreciative way. Ajuni means unborn and not subject to cycles of birth and rebirth over lifetimes. Saibhang means uncaused and self-illuminated. Ordinarily, we understand our lives through celebration of our birth, through knowing about our parentage, and having some awareness of our inevitable death. These all bring some meaning and value to our lives. Yet, whatever our life circumstances, the Mool Mantar brings into our lives another level of meaning and value, which comes from realizing we are part of the One who is undying, unborn, and uncaused.
What is the meaning of Gur Prasad?
In India, prasad was a gift or blessing spontaneously bestowed on a disciple by a guru or enlightener, just as a teacher might recognize or encourage a student by offering some unexpected reward or help. Whilst the Mool Mantar encourages the discipline of meditation, the term Gur Prasad, the Guru's blessing, underlines that God is known ultimately through the qualities of gratitude and humility which evoke divine grace. Gur Prasad introduces the all-important concept of Guru. In India, this was someone laden with wisdom, a revered teacher, or for Sikhs, Guru is a title specifically reserved for the 10 Sikh Gurus and the Guru Granth Sahib. It also refers to the collective power to illuminate as human and scriptural embodiments of Guru Nanak's light. The Guru is also the enlightening power of the formless Creator, whom Sikhs praise as Vahe Guru, the wondrous God. You can also call it Wow He Guru. It's the same thing. You're expressing that the God is wondrous and whose spark lies deep within all of us. As a conclusion to the opening section of the Mool Mantar, Gur Prasad implies a vital understanding, for sure. A mantra may be recited with great personal initiative and diligent focus, but enlightenment happens only through grace, when all traces of self-centeredness are replaced by genuine humility, gratitude, and devotion. With this one term, we are introduced to a pivotal feature of the Sikh spiritual path, to the fine balance between steady, focused effort and selfless surrender.
A lot of Sikhs sometimes end the Mool Mantar with Gur Prasad, but very often I've noticed that people also include Jap, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hebi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach. Why is that, and can you further elaborate on that?
Well, first of all, let me say that as far as I'm concerned, there is no right or wrong way.
Okay.
It is a personal preference. My preference is to recite it till Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach, because I feel that we should end by giving credit to Guru Nanak Sahib for this composition. Guru Nanak ends the Mool Mantar by saying, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hebi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach, the unchanging truth before time's dawn, and at time's beginning the unchanging truth. Right now, the unchanging truth, and says Nanak, the unchanging truth into eternity. At the very start of the Guru Granth Sahib, Gur Prasad is followed by the word Jap, from Japna, meaning to chant and contemplate. It introduces a source of wisdom to be meditated upon. In this way, Jap serves as a title for the first scriptural composition known as Japji Sahib. At the same time, the sound of Jap drives home the importance of cultivating contemplation by taking time to consciously recite, reflect, and nurture a God-conscious mind through daily meditative practice. Sometimes you will hear the Mool Mantar recited to Gur Prasad. Often, however, the word Jap and a short couplet are also included, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hebi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach. This elaborates on God's identity as the ever-true reality, existing before the dawn of time and forever into eternity. It also directs us to align with divine truth as we cross different stages of our own life and we think about the kind of legacy we could leave for future generations.
That was a wonderful explanation, very easy and simple to understand of the Mool Mantra, which is at the very beginning of the Guru Granth Sahib. Thank you very much, Harinder ji.
Thank you, Gurpreet ji. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa,
Vaheguru ji ki fateh. Thank you very much for watching the Sikhlens YouTube channel, the talks that we've had on the spiritual path in Sikhi as well as the oneness of all humanity. Thank you very much, and do stay tuned for our future programming. Thank you.